We acknowledge we are gathered on Treaty 1 territory and that District 64 Toastmasters is located on the treaty territories and ancestral lands of the Anishinaabe, Anishinaabeg, Dakota Oate, Desunalin, and Nahuatl nations.
Welcome to District 64 TV, a production of District 64 Toastmasters with help from Rogers Communications. My name is Mandon, and I will be your host for this episode. We hope this program series will be your go-to place to learn about the Toastmasters members' experiences in District 64. There are so many dynamic events, anecdotes, and member experiences to show you how you could benefit in your professional skills development. Recently, our District 64 TV team went on the road to visit Toastmaster clubs in their home environment. We will share some of those experiences in this episode as well as future episodes. Our executive producer and district director 2024 to 2025, distinguished Toastmaster Stephen Bryden, paid a visit to the Anishinaabe Toastmaster Club. The club is located at 119 Sutherland Avenue, at the intersections of Sutherland and Euclid Avenues, in Winnipeg, Manitoba. They meet in the lovely and municipally designated historic site, Manitoba Indigenous Cultural Education Center. Honestly, it is a breathtaking and beautiful building, but let's leave it to Stephen and the club members to show you. The Manitoba Indigenous Cultural Education Center is a provincial not-for-profit charitable education organization and is governed by a board of volunteer Indigenous leaders and advocates from across Manitoba. They also have staff to manage day-to-day operations. We were fortunate and thankful to share a few moments with the executive directors, Dennis Daniels. Take it away, Stephen.
We have Dennis Daniels here with the Manitoba Indigenous Cultural Education Center, whose organization also hosts Anishinaabe Toastmasters Club. Dennis, it's really great to have you here.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Nice to meet you too, and thank you for the time. Is there anything that you can tell us about the Manitoba Indigenous Cultural Educational Center?
Well, Manitoba Indigenous Cultural Education Center is a provincial education charitable organization that started up in 1975. It started up through the Winnipeg Indian Council, who was the 10th region at the time of the Manitoba Indian Brotherhood. And in 1975, when it started, the Cultural Centers program in Ottawa started up in 71, 72. And it was something like a $42 million project, like a 5-year pilot project. And what they did is the Winnipeg Indian Council applied. They had two different avenues of funding. One is through the bands, the other one was through general interest groups. So the Winnipeg Indian Council, being in a city here, they applied under the 25% in general interest group thing. And they got funding based on the population. At that time, it was something like a per capita basis sort of funding formula that they had back then. And they got something like $160,000 to start the Cultural Center program. And they set it up to promote an awareness and an understanding of the Indigenous culture to all groups so interested in learning about the culture. And over the years, like since 1975, we went through a lot of change. We opened up on Lombard and Main back then, and we stayed there for 2 years, 75, 76. In 1977, we bought this building through a rental purchase agreement through the United Church of Canada. And it was a rental thing through 4 years where we had money at the end of 4 years, and through the rental purchase agreement, the building would shift to us, and we got it at the end of 1981, I think April the 1st of 1981, we got it for $1.
Oh, nice.
So this is really a rundown building. In 2009, we applied for money to renovate the building. And we raised $2.1 million. And this is what we got here today from the 2.1 million that we had. They used to say that before the building kind of looked like a dungeon. A lot of people didn't like to come here because it was so like out of place with everything.
Yes.
You know, you had nice artwork up on the walls and the building looked shabby looking, eh? So that was why we decided to try and get money to do this renovations. And we were lucky we got it done. And we really did a lot of work in this thing. Over the years, we collected all this artwork. Like we got something like $500,000 worth of artwork and tape slides and library books and everything. The People's Library was one of the programs of the Manitoba Indian Brotherhood back in the 70s. And then being a political group, the Brotherhood couldn't run programs. So they asked us if we'd take over the People's Library with the books and research papers and whatever they had there. And then that was the first major program that we had through the Cultural Center, was the People's Library. And then we had communications, we had curriculum development, we had a cultural worker, and we'd go out in the community and do different work within the city. The city never really had anything in a way of Indigenous culture back then. The Liberal government's white paper of 1969 and the rebuttal by the Indian Alberta Association, like in 1970, with their what they called the red paper. So that rebuttal, and then after that, all the other provinces across Canada start doing their policy statement to counteract this white paper. Eh? So the Liberal government, realizing that Indian people wasn't going to go away, they were trying to do away with the treaties, they were trying to do away with the Indian Act, and just do away with Indian people altogether and transfer the responsibility of the federal government for Indian people onto the provinces, and the provinces wouldn't go for it. So that's when they said, well, we better do something in order to accommodate the Indian people because we know they're not going to just go away. So that's how come the Cultural Center started back in 1971-72 with a 5-year pilot project for $42 million.
That's amazing. It's been here ever since.
Been ever since, yeah.
It's a wonderful space and a wonderful story of evolution and influencing change and I guess continuity of culture within our society too. All that together, all housed within a beautiful building surrounded by beautiful artwork. The public, the People's Library as well. I understand that there's like many different titles. So you have that's a subset of the library. If I understand, there's even more books, I guess, that you also have under the organization's care.
Yeah, we have books in the library that covers every aspect of Indigenous culture. So it's a good thing. We never ever had that before. Like there were some books in the library in the University of Manitoba, University of Winnipeg and all that. And they had a few in the People's Library back then, but hardly anything. And some of the books that came over with the transfer to like the center back in 1977 was the Wabung book, and that's our tomorrow is for the policy statement of the Indian bands of Manitoba back in rebuttal to the white paper of 1969.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
And I understand Anishinaabe Toastmasters has been a long time, has been hosted for a very long time here in this building. I think I see from since 1991, I think is when the club
No,
was
I think
started, or
that's when the club started. Yeah, back in
yes,
1991. But
yes,
they've been all over the city.
okay,
Like back then, I think they started up in Anishinaabe because there was a lot of like Anishinaabe people coming from the the country, and
yes,
they wanted to more or less be able to communicate and be leaders within the places that they worked, and they were having a hard time. That's what I heard.
yes.
So they started up a club. Well, there was Toastmasters going on around, but I guess the indigenous people wanted their own. So that's how the Anishinaabe Toastmasters Club started back in 1991.
Can you tell us a little bit about like your experience here within the Manitoba Indigenous Cultural Education Center? And I understand you're a Toastmasters member yourself. Can you just speak a little bit about that experience and the impacts?
Well, I started as Anishinaabe Toastmasters back in 2015. I joined it, and it was over at the Nietzsche Commons building on Euclid and Main back then. Then they stayed there for a while, and then they moved down to 1075 Portage Avenue, which is an office for the Peguis First Nation. We stayed there for a while, and then we left there. And then I told them, well, you don't have any place to go. You can come here to the center. So they've been here now for probably 6 or 7 years now. And they like the surroundings because they feel that they just feel like being at home in amongst their own people, in amongst their own cultural stuff and all that. So it's good. It's like they feel at ease, they said, and they like it. And I know the Toastmaster Club here is, over the years since I've been here since 2015, it really developed a lot of people in the field of leadership and the field of communications. And I know a lot of people that went through there went on and did good in the careers that they were pursuing. So
Oh, thank you for sharing that. A little bit later on in the segment, I think we'll have opportunity to interview either the incoming president or the past president for Anishinaabe Toastmasters, which is, of course, the president is one of the club officer roles in every club, and that's provides a great leadership opportunity for people to sit in a formal leadership role and gain that experience and come away just a little bit wiser at the end of that Toastmasters program year. Well, I want to thank you very much, Dennis, for taking the time, being executive director for this organization. It's really great that's demonstrated support for Anishinaabe Toastmasters and such a wonderful opportunity for those members to share in this space, to collaborate, learn, and develop together in a fun, safe space that creates an atmosphere of family. So thank you once again for this interview. I really appreciate your time.
thank you, Steve.
The Manitoba Indigenous Cultural Education Center has a very extensive heritage collection, as you will see in the background of this program, as well as a very unique library. Most libraries come with a dedicated, caring, and organized librarian. This library is no different. Stephen will speak to research and library assistant Noah Malazdrewicz, who will share his thoughts on the Cultural Education Center and Toastmasters. Over to you, Stephen.
We have Noah Malazdrewicz here, who works at the Manitoba Indigenous Cultural Education Center, and he's been working here for a fair amount of time, or a significant time.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that you're a local expert when it comes to this building, because of course you work here every day, so I imagine you get fairly familiar with the building, maybe a little bit with the architecture, maybe a little bit about the artwork and the library. Is there anything that you'd like to share with us of interest that maybe the audience might not be aware of?
Oh, for sure. Yes. Well, so I'm so lucky to be the librarian in this special, beautiful place, the Manitoba Indigenous Cultural Education Center, and it's certainly a place where there's no end to the learning that takes place here. such a fascinating place. It's such a special place. It's the place to come in the whole province to learn about Indigenous cultures. And it's kind of a unique place in Canada and probably the world. And it has a unique history, a fascinating history, one that I'm lucky to get to learn a little bit of every day. Certainly not I feel very early in learning about everything.
No, that's okay. It's learning is about discovery, and it's a journey.
And yeah, but this is the place to come. So and everyone who's curious, that you're going to find so much more, like an endless amount of learning here.
Like in specifics, like the People's Library, imagine you learn a lot about a history and a lot about Indigenous culture and many different topics.
It's a highly unique library. All the libraries in Winnipeg are wonderful.
Yes, for sure.
This one, the People's Library, of course, has a history going back to the predecessor of today's Assembly of Manitoba Chiefs, which was back in the day called the MIB, the Manitoba Indian Brotherhood. From my understanding, there was a little bit of a library collection starting there, tended to by the great Verna Kirkness, who, when the Cultural Center started, there was a donation of that little nucleus to what would grow into the People's Library. In the early days, I think I've heard Dennis say that one of the first books in the library was with a title something along sports or games the Indians played. But there was a lot of self-photocopied books, a little folder and photocopied. But over time, it has grown into such a unique educational resource with things you can't find in other libraries for various reasons. And it's cataloged uniquely. The authors frequently come here. People who used to come and study here have become authors on the shelves now. Our catalog is on our website, so you can search books there. And then you can come here Monday to Friday, 8:30 to 4:30. And there's a $10 year-long membership, and it's well worth it. And yeah, so it's a great place to come, and you can always email me library@micec.com, and I'll go out of my way to get the books that we don't have yet. And if I have to go and this is something I want to live up to, is I heard about some of the previous librarians, and they would, if we didn't have something here, they would go to another library, photocopy it, and bring it back. And I've done that. I've given out my own personal books if we didn't have it in the library yet. So it's I'll try my hardest to help you.
It's a really, really great service. I understand the website is www.micec.com. Is that right?
Oh,
yes. Yeah. So that'd be a great place to go, and they can come down and check things out Monday to Friday. And while they're here, if they check out the library, clearly they can check out all the wonderful artwork that's in the building as well.
Yeah, so they consider the Cultural Center to have three components. The People's Library, and then what we call the Heritage Collection, so all the art, artifacts, and regalia, and medicines, and it's very diverse and beautiful, and that's a major thing to come here and appreciate. And then there's community programs, which is another beautiful aspect of the center, but that's very easy to learn about on our Facebook. That's the best way to see because that's kind of rapidly changing stuff. Some of the things that are really popular are the language tables, which you register on our Facebook, and they're done through Zoom. So they're very accessible. And we have people that join from around the world. But once a month, they try to have an in-person language table where everyone gets to eat together. But there's frequently a standard meeting afternoon that can shift around throughout the year, which date that is. But the meeting afternoon, there's a whole group of people that come regularly, and it's a very good vibe. And
sounds like there's always different things that are happening, which is really fun to hear. And of course, one thing that happens, I understand that you're also a member too, is the Toastmasters Club that is hosted here, Anishinaabe Toastmasters. So you're a member. Can you comment on what the member experience has been like for you?
So the Cultural Center is blessed to have a brilliant executive director, Dennis Daniels, who's been a part of the Cultural Center since the year of its inception. And he is a brilliant colleague, leader, everything. But one thing that I remember is that he used to participate in a gathering held here it used to be Tuesday nights. and I'd see him sort of setting up for it. And after a while, he'd maybe say, "Hey, can you help me set up these tables for something that I'm doing here later?" I was like, And after a while, I heard it was something called Anishinaabe Toastmasters. And I can't remember how I first sat in on it, but slowly I learned that it was and I'd never been to any Toastmasters before, but it was a public speaking practice group. And what I saw when I finally sat in with such a loving, warm, fun group, and I was looking around at the people, and what I saw is that they circulate through different roles of creatively encouraging each other, is how it seemed to me. And the topics that they use, they give you the table topic sessions, so you have to try to speak for 2 minutes with a nice sort of like intro, body, conclusion, and have it smooth and everything like that. And the topics are sort of creatively come up with by the members. And I always thought that the topic discussions and the themes were really, they were fun, they were and culturally related, and I noticed that the way that people encouraged each other was very beautiful, and it created this sense of like family, and it's just an hour once a week, really fun, very creative, and beautiful. And yeah, after a while, I heard that Dennis say that he used to, and we all struggle with public speaking, and it's like, and he talked about how he's seen people get better through it, and since I've been a member, I felt like my sort of confidence in trying to do public speaking has improved, and my articulation, and particularly though, I think we just really learn a lot about listening to each other and being encouraging, and creating bonds. Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you for sharing. It sounds like a really impactful experience.
Mm-hmm, for sure.
So thank you for taking the time, Noah, for coming and speak with us on District 64 TV. We hope to hear from you, and of course Dennis Daniels and the others again.
Yes, and I really hope that more and more people come to visit, because it does feel somewhat like a hidden gem, and I think a lot of people would like it, and it's we're tending a little fire for people to come. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, tell us a little bit more. What day you meet and what time do you meet?
Yes. So we meet once a week, Wednesdays at 5:30 to 6:30 at 119 Sutherland, the home of the Manitoba Indigenous Cultural Education Centre. It's a beautiful building because it's at the corner of Sutherland and Euclid, and there's 7 posts outside with wooden animal carvings, and there's a beautiful garden underneath.
All right, so every Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. at 119 Sutherland Avenue.
It's a great time.
Great time. Come on down to visit Anishinaabe Toastmasters.
And there's a Zoom link to find if you want to join from far away. You can do it through Zoom too, and that's we'll get you that link. But thank you so much for chatting.
You're very welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you.
Nicko.
One of Toastmasters' strengths is leadership skill development. A key method used is actual experiential learning. Each club has a leadership team of 7. For instance, the club president, who is responsible for managing the whole group, or a vice president of education, who manages the education program for the membership. There are other roles covering public relations, membership, money management, to mention a few. Each year, in early May, club elections take place to assign a new team of leaders who will manage the club for 1 year, starting July 1st. Stephen was able to chat with a couple of these incoming leaders at the Anishinaabe Toastmasters, who will share their experience. Incoming President Karen Chambers and incoming Vice President of Public Relations, Bassam Khan. Take it away, Stephen.
We have the incoming president for the club, I think, for this year that starts, who takes office July 1st, 2025. And we also have Vice President of Public Relations who will be taking office as well. So we have Karen and Bassam. It's great to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
So Karen, can you tell us anything about how you feel about becoming the new president for the Toastmasters Club in Anishinaabe? Of course, it's for 1 year, but can you just tell us a little bit about this role and anything that you're interested about learning or any experiences for this coming year?
Well, I am just new to Anishinaabe Toastmasters for this club. I've only been a member since March. It has been wonderful. The people are wonderful here. You learn so much. You're helping to develop your skill level and be confident in how you speak. So I am really enjoying that part. As being president for this coming up year, I'm looking forward to being a team member with the club and to actually coordinate with the others so that they can help me in this role as president, because as you know, you cannot do the role by yourself. You need other people to help you, and the more help you get, the better you become at your role.
Love that. It takes a village.
That's right, it takes a village.
And Bassam, I understand that you're taking on the Vice President of Public Relations role this year. How long have you been a Toastmasters member for? And is there anything that you're looking forward to on taking on the Vice President of Public Relations role for Anishinaabe Toastmasters?
Yes, so I have been a member of this club for about 8 to 10 months now, less than a year. And I have been enjoying my time here. I look forward to coming here every week. It is great for professional development, personal development. It gives you confidence to be able to speak in front of people. And then I recently got selected as the Vice President Public Relations here. And I look forward to collaborating with the rest of the team to work on some exciting projects which I have in my mind. I want to increase the club's digital presence is one of my main motives, and hopefully that will increase our presence out there and get in front of more eyes and hopefully attract people to come here, because as one of our Toastmasters said here, it is truly a hidden gem in the city, and especially for younger folks, it is great to come here. It will help you with your careers, with your lives, with your in general when you speak with people. Yes.
That's really great to hear. One of the things I've heard about Toastmasters is that it creates opportunities as a laboratory of learning. So it's really great to hear on how you want to build the digital presence. Thank you for this interview, and I hope to hear from you soon.
Wonderful. And just also, we are a hybrid club. So if you can't make it in person, we are always available by Zoom. So please contact us and we will send a Zoom link to you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of District 64 TV. Be sure to tune in for future episodes. If you want to learn more about the Toastmaster program and how you can get engaged at a club near you, go to www.toastmaster.org and click on the Find a Club button. You will be able to type in your locations, find a club near you. Don't wait. Make sure you find a club and join today.